Just look at what they've done. Look, it's massacred. Good morning, everybody. I'm Katie, and welcome to my bubble. Today is June the 4th, and I am wanting to go out to the garden early this morning because I'm having an ant problem. So ants normally aren't too big of a problem in the garden. They don't really eat a whole lot. To be honest, I think they're more interested in the aphids that are eating your food. Ants do like the sweet juice that aphids poop out, that they excrete. So, but I know I have at least 2 full colonies in the garden, and my new little strawberry patch that I am so excited about. I went out yesterday and I had about 5 strawberries to pick, and they were all half eaten by ants. So little ants, big ants, you name it. So today we're going to make up like a slurry for the ants to ingest, and most importantly, take back to the colony and feed to the queen. That way the colony collapses. But first, I want to recap on our sauerkraut. If you had time to make your own sauerkraut, in about a week, it should turn yellow. This was green. So it also, if you open it up to burp it, which I do every morning, I'll crack it open and just give it some air. Maybe push it down a little bit, make sure everything's all nice and covered in your juices. Because the juices smell. It smells great. No, bad and great. But I'm super excited. We're a week in. We normally let this sit between 20 and 30 days. Also, our pea pods, Kentucky has been getting a whole lot of rain. It's been just, if we're getting rain every day, and if not every day, then at least once to twice a week. And so I had to pick more peas. This is the second bushel basket of peas, but if you notice, they've gone to pea on me, which is just fine. Collecting pea pods, you do have kind of a limited time. You want those first fresh ones to be just pods. I did manage to blanch and freeze 3-gallon bags of just pea pods. But now we're going to have to collect the pea. And that, like I said, this is a labor of love. Once again, I picked about a basket that size. It took my husband and I both an hour and a half the other evening to shell all of the peas. And this is about what we got. There's only been like 2 little handfuls taken out of this for salads and such. So as you can tell, it's a lot of work for not much product. To be honest, when we have peas, I will blanch and freeze these just like the pea pods, and I won't touch them until like December. So I have that taste of summer once again. But for today, we're going to go out to the garden. We're going to take our ant traps, and I noticed we have beets. So we're going to pick some beets, and I'm going to show you the really super quick recipe that I use to cook all my beets, because I don't love beets, but they are uber good for you. They're one of the best vegetables for you out there. So I have learned a way that I can eat them without being grossed out, and I'm going to share that with you. So we want our borax, and we want our sugar. The sugar is what will attract them. In case you don't know, borax is a laundry detergent. If you choose to make your own detergent, this is an ingredient that you would want to use. So you can find this in the laundry detergent aisle in the grocery store, and it should look about like this. I didn't see any other brands. Something else we want is a few plastic containers, depending on how many traps you're putting out. And they need to have, I know it's hard to see, they need to have a hole. There we go. They need to have a hole cut in them on both sides so the ants have easy access. So what we're going to do today is we want a 4-to-1 ratio. So we want 1 part borax and 4 parts of sugar. And it doesn't have to be exact. So we're going to do about 1 tablespoon of borax per cup. Then we're going to do 4 parts of sugar. I've chosen not to put the laundry detergent covered spoon in my sugar bowl. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that we've got that done, I'm going to kind of mix it up a little bit. Bring that borax up to the top. Something else we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of water. And we're not going to make this real liquidy because we don't want to drown the ants. We want them to eat it, and we want them to take it back to the queen. That way, if she goes, the colony goes. So what we're doing here is we're basically making a deadly slushy. So kids, don't drink this. It smells like laundry detergent. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to take all 3 of these out to the garden. Before we do, we need to get some pieces of aluminum foil, or depending on where you live, tin foil, to cover the tops of our cups so that rain cannot get in. So let's go out to the garden. So now we're out in the garden, and I want to show you the destruction that these ants have caused me. And in case you didn't see my little short, Kentucky's being taken over by cicadas, which I'll show you a picture. They are all over the place. If one lands on me, I will holler. Just heads up. Just look at what they've done. Look, it's massacred. There's another one. And then on this one, they've already started eating into one that's not ripe. So we're going to try and nip this in the bud right now. So we are going to put our cup basically in the middle of our bed. They will be attracted to the smell. At least that's the plan. We want to kind of dig down a little bit. We want to make sure that it's easy for the ants to get in there. I'm actually going to put a little bit of hay in there just to make sure that they don't drown. That way they've got plenty of stuff to climb up on. And then don't forget, we want to cover the top. And now we'll do our other side. There's a tomato. Great. While we're going, our marigolds have started to bloom. Isn't that lovely? And then we're also checking our tomatoes right now because of this. We don't want them to bloom yet, so I'm actually going to pick this off. It's too bad. There's another one forming. Just take the whole sucker. Everybody else looks pretty good. Okay. Now, we're going to get ready for our other trap. So, I laid these boards in the garden actually to start our carrot seeds. Carrots like to stay really moist, and it takes a while for the seed to germinate. So you do actually want to cover them. That does tend to be helpful. We have an ant colony right here, and I can tell basically because I was out here the other day and removed the board, and this was full of ants and eggs, and you can see the little trails. By me disturbing them, they have moved underground further. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove these boards, and I'm going to put out another trap, and hopefully that will take care of our problem. Okay, and they'll figure out how to get in there. Something else that's kind of exciting, a lot of people don't see very often, is I let my radishes bloom, at least a couple of them, so they go to seed. Ugh. There's a cicada. So, anyway, this is a radish bloom. They close up at night, so they're just starting to open. It will spread all the way open. Oh, here. Like this one. Isn't that pretty? And then they come in different colors. I think that's just so fun. I love the dainty little flower and color, and I have not had to buy radish seeds for 3 years. My sister-in-law gave me some, and we threw them in the ground, and they're just lovely. I love them. Now, we've come over to the beets. I plant beets the same time I plant peas, which is in February. So these have been growing for 4 months. Oh, Kevin's joining us. He is my garden helper, totally. So look at that. Look how beautiful. We're going to pull that up. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's good eating. Okay, another reason that we want to pull up some of the beets is to give maybe some others a little room. And these are plenty big enough for us. Look at that! I'm so excited! These all look really good. Ah. There we go. And that is plenty for my husband and I. So now we'll go back in the kitchen and I'll show you the super easy way that I prepare them that will make me want to eat them. All right, back inside with our beets. This recipe is super crazy easy. All we're going to do is we're going to cut up the beets. You need a little bit of oil. I am going to use avocado oil because our olive oil is very flavorful and the avocado it's not as much. So, and then we're going to use honey and just a little drizzle of salt. So I did not peel my beet. I would like to eat the peel as well.
a lot of the nutrients that is in your produce is actually in the peel. We're going to keep the peel on there. Beets are high in vitamin C, A, K, and B, and folate. A couple B's and folate. Folate is another form of a B vitamin that helps assist with blood flow. So that makes sense that your more popular beet is blood red. So a lot of times your food, it kind of resembles what it helps in the body. Walnuts are really good for the brain. They look like little brains. So I'm going to finish cutting these up real quick. Like I said before, I was not a huge fan of the beet, but just if you can get it in your diet any way you can. For a while, I was using beetroot powder, which I got at a local health food store. And it didn't really change the flavor of my coffee. I would add about a teaspoon to my coffee, and it made it pink. So beets can be used to dye clothing, Easter eggs. They're just really fast. I mean, look at my hand, which that'll wash off. So we're just going to add a little drizzle of our oil and then mix it around. And we're going to add a little bit of salt just to help bring more of the flavors out. We're going to even things up a little bit. And we are going to drizzle honey all over everything. And this will caramelize a little bit on your beets. It'll soak into the beets. Like I said, not a huge fan, but I love them like this, and that's why we've started growing them. So now, I'm going to turn our oven to 375, and that's it. It doesn't take a great big container. We will put them in the oven at 375 for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how well you like them cooked. So I'd like to thank you all once again for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy your beets. Bye.